We checked into the hotel for a grand international gathering and had each found on our beds silver lame bikinis or Speedos alongside bottles of whiskey and tequila. Pillow mints were for rejects. The hotel was on a private beach where yachts coasted in and out of the inlet, and people wore clothing that implied nudity. The other ladies had packed entire suitcases of lingerie. I'd packed a mere pair per day. Liquor bottles lined the jacuzzi's edge in the rooftop suite reserved for the birthday boy we were there to party with. I took shots whenever the jets switched on. In the far corner, 2 Euro boys groped each other to decide whose balls were softer. So soft. No, you're so soft. Soft, I said, looking into our shady tub. Everyone was naked. My pubes waffled underwater like a black seaweed patch. I twirled my new wedding ring and then lifted it out to make sure the chlorine wasn't discoloring its dainty gem. It wasn't cool to worry about it. These people have mouse diamonds, right? I got out, tied on some terry cloth, and headed downstairs to see my own soft new husband. This extravagant honeymoon was a gift from the birthday godfather with ample cash. On our room's balcony, Pandora was shoving ice cubes up her pussy. She was impersonating a slot machine, one where no man can hit the jackpot. I wiggled in for a good view while deep funk played. 4 people huddling around the lady crotch melting ice cubes might be criminal in silence or sleazy with techno, but funk was making the scene revolutionary. Closer? Okay. Zeus, wrapped toga style in the crisp white top sheet he'd yanked off our bed, called Pandora's pussy an antique clock. I guessed he'd meant her body was timeless and beautiful, which it was. How Greek of you, I said to Zeus. He watched 2 more cubes disappear, then passed out on our bed. Hermes smoked a Capri cigarette in a monkey fur coat. He only wears exotic fur. My new husband, wearing a shirt and no pants, sipped a glass of wine. He needed a nickname fast. Pan for no pants? I said, kissing his cheek. I was impressed he was hosting an impromptu mini party. Once the ice bucket was empty, Pandora twisted the cap off a bottle of JD and trickled it down her butt crack to make crack on the rocks. It's a real drink. Zeus passing out mid-show had forced her to reinvent the act. I've known Pandora for 15 years and she's always a wellspring of experiments. Where are we? I asked Pan. Our daily life is swell, but it's not this theatrical. He put his arm around me. In this alternate universe, Pandora was challenging someone to a competition. The bride? I just don't think about pussies that much. Pandora wins the trophy. I'm a space virgin who occasionally bumbles onto her orgiastic planet. Pandora carves her initials into every place she visits. For instance, we met under a table. Many years back, I dropped a cigarette at a party, bent down, peered under the tablecloth, and there she was shoegazing. Crawling under to join her, I asked her what she loved about foot apparel. Don't ever call it that, she said. We shared a smoke and planned a Russ Meyer movie marathon. I was into boobs, I told her, since I like how the word, in singular, is a palindrome. I wasn't a threat to Pandora because she only dates women who look like James Dean. People love her or hate her. The following morning, some of us ferried to the birthplace of twin gods Artemis and Apollo. On this unpopulated island, millennia-old bricks still walled in areas where people had worshipped the goddess of the hunt. I could smell the Artemis cult. Wise women with gold bracelets coiled around their biceps, drizzling liquids on each other. These were women who kept tigers on leashes. It wasn't Lesbos, but it was as close to Wonder Woman as I may ever get. The island was a desolate, scorched place, and it was over 100 degrees. After 2 hours of strolling, I verged on summer hallucinations. The Wonder Woman oracle appeared to tell me now that I'd married, I could die a happy woman. Don't take me now, I pleaded with the heat vapors. I finally have a husband. This moment in your life is fleeting, the oracle declared. Beware the future. This oracle was beginning to sound suspiciously like myself, a saboteur. I evaporated her by telling Pan I needed a rest. Locating a cave, 3 slabs wedged like Stonehenge into a hillside, Pan helped me scramble uphill and squirted water on my face. We inhaled a package of soda crackers, and Pan asked what my problem was. I was feeling too quiet to explain that the oracle was undermining my romantic moment. Crushing silence was my only weapon against sexier women who might try to usurp my treasured love, sexier women who were only sharing my honeymoon because Pan and I had rolled our honeymoon and this birthday celebration into one fat spliff. I'd always presumed myself above Pandora's lowbrow challenges. The primal female struggle was already kicking in. I was excited that I had a husband to defend, a person, but I didn't want to pander to the woman who loosed evil on the world. Back on flat ground, Pan showed me the case of painted glass eyes that had fallen out of the lion heads next to us. These were balls I could get into. Arranged in rows, they gave off mysterious airs. If an island's history is deeper than mine, I thought, how can I leave an impression? Centuries of tragedy and scandal had boiled down to a vitrine of painted marbles. I spotted Pandora's shoes from across the field, bright yellow rubber, open-toed heels with ankle straps. Her magenta hot pants were tacky. I recalled our wedding, where as a maid of honor, Pandora came disguised as a karate black belt, where there are more photographs of Pandora karate-chopping guests than of Pan and I combined. I consider my best friend a sister, which means I don't always like her. She's related to me because we share qualities. Pandora is my mirror. She shows me things I hate about myself. How would I know what to fix if she didn't go everywhere with me to point out my flaws? I want to believe that one can never be too free, and that I just need more training. But too much free spirit can make those around you uptight as they pick up the slack. At sunset, the beach was for the no-tan line crowd. Pan sipped tin cups of white wine from the taverna, and in between drinks he swam out for rock diving. I snorkeled away in the salty, curative sea. Underwater, green spiky anemones and purple crabs coated boulders. A spotted octopus disappeared in a puff of sand as soon as I realized what it was. I imagined he had returned home, to a ruined Pandora statue, her heels stabbing the seafloor like prehistoric anchors colonized by octopi and seahorses. The seahorses' prehensile tails curled and uncurled as they navigated marble stilettos overgrown with burgundy sea plants. I love seahorses. Pandora didn't flinch when I described this vision of her, ruined and swarmed with seahorses, back on the beach. She continued sipping her ouzo and silver lame, a silk sun hat and Chanel sunglasses. I plopped down next to her. "You're all wet," Pandora said, dipping her fingers in ouzo and flicking them at me. "There's a giant underwater statue of you out there," I said. "Where?" Pandora asked. I pointed one cove over. "Pan's still there," I lied. "We followed an octopus to a sunken statue of you wearing stilettos and surrounded by seahorses." "Stilettos?" Pandora asked, intrigued. "Size 50s, I said. 50, Pandora said in awe. "But seahorses? What's wrong with seahorses? Are they even animals?" she asked. "They lay eggs," I said, "and the males carry and deliver the babies. Want to go see?" "No," she said, "that's nasty." Pandora's definition of nasty is often different from mine. I have a seahorse bookshelf in my living room library. I guarantee Pandora has a sex toys section. She has her glamour, I have mine. In my black suit, fins, mask, and snorkel, I look like a marine biologist. That's seductive in my book. We love different things, but each a lot. Pandora worships her pussy, and I am vaguely devoted to things that symbolize a pussy. Caves, pregnant seahorses. So maybe I'm too removed. At least I'm not a man-eater. "Swim out there with me," I said. Pandora finished her ouzo, set her hat and sunglasses down, and borrowed a mask. There were no waves, only glassy sheets of transparent blue forming the horizon. Pandora's silver bikini was reflecting sunbeams off of it. It could have been a lighthouse beacon for lost boaters, but instead it attracted a school of metallic, shimmering orange guppies. We swam around the point where I hoped there would be seahorses, preferably surrounding a sunken statue wearing high heels. "Look at the fish," I called, pointing down. Pandora put her mask on and looked at her feet. "Those aren't guppies," Pandora said, coming back up. We looked again. The fish had pencil-tip-sized, razor-sharp teeth. Pandora started kicking them away. We came up and ripped our masks off. "They're man-eaters," I said, half-joking. "It's a new breed." "Do they bite?" Pandora asked, drawing her legs up towards her stomach. She only asks me for information when she's scared, which proves she trusts me. The fish do look capable of nabbing a toe. "They don't bite," I lied, staying a cool 15 feet away. Instead of paddling, Pandora let her legs down, took her fins off, and spread her toes to test a nibble. I pulled my mask on and went under to watch. Though legs always look like things that attach to other things, they're peculiarly isolated. I watched this underwater man-eater documentary, wishing Pan could see. The soundtrack was snorkel breathing. Pandora's toes were the coral reef. The suspense was way better than seeing seahorses. Pandora is 100% woman, and that's probably why she confuses me. Paddling there, watching her, I invented recipes for us. Pandora is part man-eater, part coral reef. I am part books, part cave, part marine biologist. I was glad I'd been forced to share my honeymoon with her. Watching Pandora do tricks ultimately makes me love her more. Like the two men obsessed with balls, Pandora reaches out. Treading water, I knew I'd be a good wife if I could be half as brave as my girlfriend, who has stuck a wider variety of objects up her crotch. Thank you.